Hi Year 3 and welcome to this week's Year 3 writing lesson. As this week is our last Year 3 writing session, I wanted, instead of a normal starter today, to take this opportunity to share with you some of the amazing writing that has been sent to us at the Year 3 email address during our Dig Discover Day topic. So I'm going to share some lovely examples with you now. Keep an eye out, see if you can spot your name and some of your writing, or maybe some of your classmates as well. And the very first picture is actually some brilliant reading news as well. It's of Izzy, who we were all so proud to hear had done such fantastic reading during lockdown that she's finished all of the Harry Potter books and is looking forward to what to read next. Well done for all of your hard work. I hope you enjoy looking through it now. Now, today's Year 3 writing lesson is something that your new Year 4 teachers are really looking forward to. Let me just share a message with you from Mrs. Smith, the head of Year 4.
Hi Year 3, it's Mrs. Smith here. We're really looking forward to welcoming you into Year 4. And we'd love to know all about you. Can you write to us and tell us all about yourselves? What have you enjoyed in Year 3? What are you looking forward to in Year 4? And tell us about your hobbies and interests too. All of the Year 4 teachers can't wait to hear from you. Have a lovely summer and we'll see you in the new term. Bye.
So we've got a brilliant opportunity this week to impress Mrs. Smith and our new Year 4 teachers, because our learning objective is to write a letter to your new teacher. Now, I know that's quite a broad learning objective and it's normally something a bit more specific, like to use fronted adverbials or to use a certain type of conjunction. But we are going to get a chance to use all of those skills that you've learned as we write our letter, and we'll consider how we'll do that when we create our steps to success later, and how you can implement all your amazing writing skills in your letter. But as always, before we just jump in and start writing, we need to come up with a bit of a plan and think about what we might want to include in our letter. So I've put a few questions up here for you to have a think about first, starting with the ones that Mrs. Smith asked about in her message to you, like, what have you enjoyed in Year 3? So If it's something that you've really enjoyed, they might be able to continue that in year 4 as well. What are you looking forward to in year 4? What are your hobbies and interests? Let your new teachers know a little bit about you. What makes you special? What do you really love? And then a few others you might want to consider as well. What are your goals for the future in year 4 and beyond? Because if you share those with your new teacher, they'll be able to think of ways to support you with that. So, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Have you got anything, for example, like a pen licence that you want to achieve in year 4, or a particular distance you want to swim, or something from outside of school, like a club or an activity that you do? And finally, do you have any questions about year 4? What a great opportunity if, because we haven't had the chance to meet our teacher in the normal way, if you've got any questions about year 4, it'd be a great opportunity to include them in your letter to send to your year 4 teacher. So I'm going to give you the opportunity now. I'm going to say you can pause the video, maybe jot down some ideas, and I'm going to have a go at mine as well. See you in a minute. Here's my plan. The lovely thing about planning is there's no real right or wrong way to do it. It's just about getting your ideas down on paper. I've chosen today to do it as a bit of a mind map where I've put my name in the middle because it's going to be all about me, and thought about those questions to help me think of ideas to put in my letter. So a few facts about myself, some of my hobbies and interests. I love football, and as lots of you know as well, I have a pet tortoise who I love as well, and I like involving him in the videos and looking after him. I've thought about what I enjoyed in year 3, or I've put enjoy because I'm still there in year 3. I enjoy learning about World War II. I've thought about goals, personal goals. I quite enjoy running, but I've not ran 5 kilometres for a while, so I want to get back to running 5 kilometres and then maybe push myself to run 10 kilometres. And I also thought of a question as well. And if I was going into year 4, I'd like to know what is different in year 4. What's different about year 3 to year 4? What exciting new things will you be doing? So once you've jotted down some ideas, now it's time to put these into full sentences ready to write our letter. And to do that, we'll need to have a think about our steps to success to see what brilliant writing features we're going to put in there to really wow your new year 4 teacher. Let's have a look. So for Chili 1 today, all of us need to be using capital letters, full stops and question marks for our questions, and also some conjunctions. For Chili 2, can you include some fronted adverbials and some words off your year 3-4 spelling word list? And then for Chili 3, can you challenge yourself by adding a wider range of conjunctions and fronted adverbials? For example, with your fronted adverbials, can you include a mix of fronted adverbials of place, time and manner? So I'm going to be thinking about that steps to success carefully while I have my turn. And I put my plan behind me just to help me, as well as my 4 faces to help me remember to think about, say out loud, write, and then read and check every sentence that I write. Now, I'm just going to start with Dear My New Teacher. Obviously, you'll know your teacher's name by now, so you can put Dear whoever it is, but I'm just going to put Dear My New Teacher. And even though I'm, of course, not going to year 4 as much as I would have loved to have come up with you, I'm going to imagine that I am for my turn as well. And especially if you're going to post your letter, I'll come on soon to how you can get these letters to your new teacher. You might also want to challenge yourself by finding out about how letters are formatted, how you would put your address on the top right, you would have the date on there, you would have the name and address of who you're sending it to, and that could be an extra challenge for you to look into that to make it look extra professional as well. For my turn, I'm just going to start with Dear My New Teacher. So I'm going to say it out loud. I know that for Dear My New Teacher, I know I need a capital letter for Dear, and it's that ear trigraph, Dear. And of course, this is where you'd put the name of your new teacher, but I'm just going to put Dear My New Teacher. Now, for a letter, one of the first things to write often in a new sentence, or the first sentence, is to explain why you're writing. After the greeting, I'm going to put a comma, and then I'm going to start on a new line now, and I'm going to explain why I'm writing. I'm going to say, well, you need to introduce yourself first, say what your name is, and then tell them why you're writing. Well, why are you writing? Well, we're writing because we want to tell them how excited we are about being in their new class, and also we want to tell them a little bit about ourselves before we meet them in the autumn term. So let me have a think about what I could write and how I could add that steps to success in. I know I'm going to use a capital letter and a full stop. Might add a conjunction in, like and, for example, to join some ideas. Let me have a think. My name is Mr. Preston, and I am writing to tell you how excited I am to be in your class and, or I could do better than that as well, because I've already used and, as well as a little about myself. Right, I'm ready to write now. I need a capital letter. My name is Mr. Preston. Obviously, your name is not Mr. Preston, so you'll need your own name. And let's tell them why I'm writing. And I am, or I might shorten that to the contraction. I might put an apostrophe instead of the A, and then shorten that to I'm. And I'm writing. And why am I writing? Well, I said I'm writing to tell them, or to tell you, how excited, as I'm sure you all will be and should be, because year 4 is a fantastic year band to be in. To tell you how excited I am to be joining year 4. I know in my plan I just put Y4 because I wanted it was only a plan, but now I'm going to write year properly with that ear trograph. And now, I've already used and, so I want to challenge myself because on my steps to success it said a range of conjunctions, so I don't want to use and again. Let's think. My name is Mr. Preston and I'm writing to tell you how excited I am to be joining year 4. Instead of and I could use as well as, so I'm going to put as well as a little about myself, because that's another reason why we're writing. As well to tell you how excited I am to be joining year 4, as well as a little bit of information about myself. Myself. And then once I've finished that, I'll put my full stop. Am I ready for my new sentence? No, that's right. Because I forgot one of these, didn't I? I need to check it first. I need to read it back through using some noisy punctuation. Dear my new teacher, my name is Mr. Preston and I'm writing to tell you how excited I am to be joining year 4, as well as a little bit of information about myself. Right, okay, so I'm going to go back to my plan now and let me have a think. Well, I might start within year 3 as well. I'm going to start with what I enjoyed in year 3. So, and my fronted adverbial, well, I think I'll use a fronted adverbial of time. I'll tell them when it was. It was in year 3. So in year 3, I enjoyed my favourite topic was World War II. Here we go. Capital letter again. And I'll put a capital letter for year 3 as well. It's the name of the year. In year 3, I put a little comma after my fronted adverbial of time to separate it from the rest of the sentence. In year 3, my favourite. Have you spotted what I've done here? I've added a year 3-4 spelling word list in there as well in favourite, and that should really impress your year 3-4 teachers. Well, your year 4 teachers. In year 3, my favourite topic was World War II. So I'm going to put those capital W's for World War, and when we write World War II, we usually use those Roman numerals to show 2 as well. Now, it's quite a short sentence at the moment, so let me have a think about my steps to success. I've used a nice fronted adverbial. I've used a year 3-4 spelling word list. Have I used a conjunction in that sentence? No, I haven't yet. So let's add one in. And remember, I want to use a range of conjunctions. So shall I use and again? No, you're right, probably not. Let me have a think about another one. In year 3, I could tell them why it was my favourite topic. I could use a because. In year 3, my favourite topic was World War II because I love history. Big Elephants can always understand small elephants. That helps me to remember how to spell it. It was World War II because I is always a capital. Love, I-L-O-V-E. The I love history. So I've given a reason then. So far, thinking about my steps to success, I would have impressed my Year 4 teacher with a Year 3 and 4 spelling word list, a fronted verbal of time, and a couple of, 3 conjunctions so far, and as well as and because. Let's have a think about what else I could do next. Let's go back to thinking again. And I want to put in a different type of fronted adverbial now. I've done a fronted verbal of time. Maybe I could use a fronted adverbial of manner, one of those ly words maybe. And because I'm going to think about maybe what I'm looking forward to in Year 4, I could put fortunately, because if I love history, which I do, I know that Year 4, every year band, still teaches lots of history. So that's quite fortunate. So I'm going to use fortunately. I've heard that you teach lots of history lessons in Year 4. Let me use that fortunately. Let me have a think about how I might spell it. So it begins with a capital F, I know, because it's the start of a sentence. Now I know to change it. Now fortunate ends in an E, so all I need to do is add the ly to change it to fortunately. And again, I put a little comma after my fronted adverbial to separate it from the rest of the sentence. So fortunately, I've heard. Could use I have. I might use a contraction again. I might take away the H and the A from have, put them together, put a little apostrophe in, and turn it into I've heard. Now, from Miss Cole's spelling lesson the other week, I know that heard is another 3-4 word list. Your Year 4 teacher can be really impressed if you can add a few. And I've heard you learn lots about history in Year 4. And you do. You can hear that from me. I've heard you learn another word. I've heard you learn lots about history in Year 4. History. Another Year 4, 3-4 word list. We're on fire. Lots about history in Year 4. Before I finish it, let's have a think. I've used a fronted adverbial of manner. I've got a nice contraction word in there. I've got a couple of Year 3-4 spelling word lists in there. Have I added, let's think back to that steps to success. Have I added a conjunction? Oh no, I could add a conjunction, couldn't I? Fortunately, I've heard you learn lots about history in Year 4. I've used because of it. Could use a so. So, I've used excited. So I'm looking forward to that because I would be. Lots about history in Year 4. So, I'll use that contraction again. So I'm looking forward to that. To that and full stop. Am I ready to write a new sentence? Not quite, because I need to check it. So, fortunately, I've heard you learn lots about history in Year 4, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm happy with that now. Now, I haven't added absolutely everything in my plan yet. I haven't talked about my hobbies and interests, about my pets, about the line of football, about my goals, something that the Year 4 teacher might be able to help me with, and I haven't added my question yet, but I'm going to leave that to you. I'm going to leave my turn here. I'm going to put the steps to success back on the screen for you so you can pause it, and now is your turn to write your letter. And after you've paused it and seen the steps to success, just at the end of the video, I'll let you know how you can get your letters to the Year 4 teachers. Good luck. How did you get on Year 3? I bet Year 4 teachers are going to be so excited to receive your letters and find out a little bit about you. Now, there are 3 ways you could get your letters to the Year 4 teachers. If you want to email them to the Year 3 address, you can, and we will pass them on. That'll be a great way to do it. But just remember that that year 3 email address is only going to be open until Friday at 3 p.m. of this week as well. So after that, we won't be checking those emails because it will be the summer holiday. The other way you could do it is if you want to, as I said before, if you want to look into how to write a formal letter and put it in the post or drop it off at the school office, we'll be able to put that in your year 4 teachers on their desk, for example, and they will pick it up when they're back in September. Or if you want to, you could hold on to it. And what a great thing to bring back on the first day back in the autumn term, to be able to bring in a letter all about yourself and wow your year 4 teacher on your very first day. Whichever way you choose, I hope you enjoy writing it. I know the year 4 teachers are going to enjoy reading it. And one final well done for all of your really hard work on all of our YouTube videos since we've been at home lots. It's been fun doing them. It's been brilliant seeing all the work you've put in, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the flesh again soon, hopefully. Take care, have a lovely summer holiday if I don't speak to you before, and see you again in the autumn term. Bye-bye.